his face got smushed and he couldn't do anything. See, me, I was like, well, why come he can't just kind of like maneuver like that when he was all chained up, but you can't
it's
move.
not easy to roll like that. Oh, hold on, we got company.
Oh.
Hey, y'all, I'm Diarra Kilpatrick, and this is the official Diarra from Detroit After Show. I am seated here with my dear friend, my girl, Dominique Perry, and we are about to jump into episode 5.
Yes.
So episode 5, it picks up the day after Diarra's big poker loss.
Yes.
And she's immediately facing the consequences of this reckless behavior. She has $20 stuck in a Bible. Probably doesn't belong to her.
Yeah.
I was like, that's her mom's $20. She's left with no choice but to fall back further into the investigation. She's really dragged back into the investigation by Moni. And she's forced along the way to kind of reflect on the choices that she's made. So the evidence pulls her back in.
Yep.
And it proves that what we've probably known all along is that Diarra is in over her head.
Absolutely.
And here, we're starting to see that it's gonna come back and bite her in the bottom. So before we get into the consequences, let's observe our favorite scene from this episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obvious my favorite scene was, I enjoyed Aja's ball. I'm gonna just say
it was a ball.
It was a ball. Like, not only was it, the scene was like reflected beautiful Black excellence, but it also was fun to watch Diarra with Keyshawn. Aja's new boo. That was hilarious. Like, you pulling him to the side, talking about those fibroids, which we don't talk about enough. I'm so glad you brought that up to him. I wish all of my friends would like bring that up to my new boo.
Do you do that though? When your girl brings a new guy around, do you grill him? Do you like?
See, I don't grill him, but I sit back and I observe. And then if I catch something, because I'm really big, like my instinct is great. I get that from my mom. Like, if I feel something, I tell her, like, afterwards, like, friend, I don't know. But see, you can't really tell your girlfriend nothing when they like them because they don't believe you.
I did.
You did.
The last conversation we had.
You did.
I told you what I thought.
And you actually, you know what? That is so true. And I believed you, so that's very, very true.
You know what? I would have to agree that the gala's my favorite. It was just so beautiful to see all the Black people dressed up, and we really wanted to honor the different sides of the city.
Yes.
And how big the Black middle class is, how much it's changing downtown.
Yeah, Aja brought it out. She brought it out.
And even though Aja's like your girl from around the way who's like standing on business, she's bringing out everybody.
Yeah, the whole Detroit. Elite Detroit.
Elite Detroit.
Yeah.
And I also loved the hair models. That was like a subtle nod to Detroit being the hair capital of the world.
What I loved was like Aja's, what is it? She was like on the screen.
Yes.
And all of her sayings and stuff like that. I said, you better go, girl.
Yeah, one of the quotes up there is, I could do anything with God and a flat iron.
We're done.
We're good.
I love it. I strive to be like her, literally. I be looking like, I am not her. That's okay, I need to help myself.
And what I also loved was we chose to honor the cult classic song, It's So Cold in the D. Yeah.
Everybody knows that song. And the crazy thing is, we all laughed at it, but she was really singing some real stuff. Oh. It's cold out there.
Shout out to T-Baby, because I mean, she made a classic.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to flip it on its head.
It was beautiful. And the fact that you had Brian, well, Mr. T, singing it, that was hilarious in that rendition.
He did such a beautiful job.
It's so cold in the deer. How the we supposed to keep peace? All on the mind, murking and doing time.
Can I just say, Dominique,
what I did?
This is the thing about being in the editing room.
Okay.
Your expression, like, you take us on a whole journey without even saying anything.
Oh, stop.
No, you do. And
really?
Every time, you know, sometimes you're like, can we cut to this person for a reaction? And they're not giving anything.
Yeah.
But you were giving. We knew exactly how you were feeling. Then the very moment that you decide, like, oh, okay, this is okay. And then you're like,
oh, yeah, because
I love that so
And I was like, well, let me just kind of go along with the flow, because I don't want my people to think that this is not rehearsed.
Right, exactly.
Because
like,
Aja would never.
Plan.
Yeah, no, this is like my friend. Like, I planned this, y'all. It's cold in the D.
So we talked earlier about Diarra's careless actions.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a time in your life where you were moving forward 100 miles per hour and it backfired.
You know what? I'm gonna tell the truth. I've always been very cautious with my moves. even when I was like a kid. So I've never done anything that backfired on me. I just never moved fast and had to have a setback. I always felt like I was gonna be used as the example, like from God.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm just very cautious.
We talked about that in episode 2, like sometimes Black girls feel like we can't step out of line. Like I think that's what's really interesting about watching Diarra do some of this crazy stuff that feels like, girl, stop. Like I know y'all are talking to the TV.
Yeah.
I know y'all are like, girl, stop.
But then it's like every time we say, girl, stop, then it's a clue or something that happens and it's like, oh, girl, keep going because I feel like you onto something, so maybe you're not all of that crazy.
Yes, and also, she's starting to have fun.
Yeah.
And I think you see that by who she calls to comfort her at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Is that she's starting to be more comfortable with danger and getting a thrill out of.
We gonna see what that's gonna do.
I
don't know. It's kind of seeming like something. I see the chemistry.
Oh, really?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know, because last episode, y'all was talking about SWATs. Y'all were Team SWAT.
Well, I'm always Team SWAT. That's my cousin.
Okay.
Aja.
Okay.
You know, I feel like we related in real life too. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm gonna always be Team SWAT for now. But I still sense like there's something there, even from like episode 1. I don't know. I just see it. So we all knew how important this gala was for Aja, and we also know that it was equally important for Diarra to show up for her.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do we honor our single friends when they have like these huge moments in life, like that aren't necessarily like weddings or things like that?
Yeah, that was a big discussion in the writer's room because I read Shonda Rhimes' book and she was talking about how she had 3 shows on the air at once and she said nobody was ever as happy for her as they were when she was engaged for a brief period.
Which is weird to me because I would be way more happy about your business accomplishment. Well, no, I mean, I'm equally happy, but your business accomplishments, that's just like a boss up.
It is a boss up, but there's something, whatever, the patriarchy or whatever, where people honor having a baby, getting married.
Baby showers and getting married.
People will spend all kinds of money. People will do all kinds of things for you.
And still talk about you behind your back about that. Is it gonna last? I don't even know.
But they'll show up.
But they
and they'll spend money.
Well, we gonna eat.
Yes.
You know?
And so I thought it would be really cool to really dig into a moment for her that feels like a wedding. And Diarra understands how big this moment is for her, and she really wants to show up for her.
And I admire that you showed up for her even in the midst of going through everything that you were with Moni.
Yes.
And you still came.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there are all kinds of ways we can honor our friends that aren't necessarily married or have babies. So in the show, you know, Diarra is going through a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all were worried about her mental health last episode, but she's still just like, this is my best friend's moment and I have to show up. How do you show up for your friends when maybe you don't have your stuff all the way together?
You know, it's funny because me, Dominique, I like kind of shut down if I don't have myself together because I don't want to put that energy on another person that's probably having a good season or another bad or equally bad season. But I know lately I've made it a point to show up for my friends. So even when I'm not feeling that great about things or I'm going through a downward spiral, I still like call my friends. I still like try to hang out with them, go out and try to exude good energy and force it out because I know my friends need me too, you know? And you just never know. Sometimes you'll hear a word from your friend that you needed to hear to kind of give you a pick-me-up, but you wouldn't know that because you're like in the house, kind of, you know, like really being down on yourself.
Yeah, that's the hard part, and it really is as simple as that. It's just show up.
Show up.
That's all Diarra was trying to do was like, I'm just trying to show up. And she almost messed up. She almost made it too much about her.
And it was a beautiful speech.
But she turned the corner. She ended up like redirecting the energy where it was supposed to be. So yeah, that's the thing. It's just like show up, and when you're trying to be there for somebody, try not to make it all about you. So kind of off of this, my favorite line of the week is, you know, when Swan and Diarra do have that brief moment in the hallway.
Yeah, that was nice.
And Diarra says, you know, Chris wasn't the man I thought he was. Swan wasn't the man I thought he was. And I wasn't always the person I planned to be either. And to me, that's a huge turning point. Yes. We very rarely see her accept any fault.
I know.
And so this is the moment where she's like, oh, snap.
I'm gonna take responsibility for my actions as well.
Some of this is on me. It takes 2 people to be in a bad marriage. It takes 2 people to, you know, it takes 2 people.
It takes,
And sometimes we get so stuck in our point of view.
And then sometimes we become like, I know people hate this word, but like victimized, where it's like, it's me, no, it's you, you did all of this. And sometimes that's why I admire Diarra for saying that, because a lot of times men and women, we don't admit like, well, let me just say what I did as well to cause the demise of this relationship or friendship or anything like that.
Yeah, so Dom, what do you think is gonna happen with Diarra and the cop?
Oh, you know what? You know what I love about Diarra? She gets herself into shit, but she can get herself out of some shit too. Like real quick. And it's like, I feel like because you had nothing to do with the Russian or anything, you were just trying to be helpful, and then you witnessed this murder like right in front of your face. I do feel like you're gonna get out of it, but it's gonna come with like maybe a consequence.
Well, one thing's for certain and two things for sure. Y'all need to tune in to the next episode to find out if Diarra dodges a bullet or if there are more consequences on the way. You already know we'll be here and ready to chop it up. We'll see you soon.
Bye.